everybody, and welcome back to A Code of Words and Pages. I'm not quite sure what the lighting situation is in here. Honestly, we're just gonna have to work with it. And welcome back to Bad Decisions with Natalie, where today I am going to be attempting to read the entire Clique series in 24 hours. Honestly, this is just probably going to be a terrible idea, but you know what? It's a fun one. However, I do believe this does need a bit of explaining about why I am choosing to do this. And that would be the Clique. It was one of my favorite series when I was younger, and I don't know why. So my history with the Clique, basically I got into the series in 4th grade because my school library had it. My school library shouldn't have had it. This was a library serving kids from kindergarten to 6th grade. I don't know. I don't know why they had this series of all things. My school library had a lot of things it maybe shouldn't have, and was also poorly stocked. So that's, and by poorly stocked I mean like there weren't a lot of great books in it. So I guess a bit of background about the Clique. I thought it would be fun to share some of the stuff about the Clique and its author, Lizzie Harrison. So the Clique, the first book was published in 2004, and from there was a schedule of 2 books a year, except where in 2008 only one book came out, which is Breakfast at Tiffany's, but I kind of deduced that was because also that year the Clique summer collection came out, which was a collection of 5 novellas, each one following a different girl in the series, about 100 to 130 pages, following them over a summer and a gap between Breakfast at Tiffany's and P.S. I Loathe You. The series is 14 books plus 1 prequel novella, which was published in 2009, Charmed and Dangerous, The Rise of the Pretty Committee. It ran from May 2004 to February 2011. There was also a manga adaptation of the Clique, which was published in 2010. The core series is 3,194 pages. The series plus the prequel is 3,369 pages. The summer collection itself is 680, which makes everything in the Clique, excluding the manga, 3,977 pages. Now, that's not it. Okay, so more about Lizzie Harrison. Next up, she published Alphas, which was a spin-off series of the Clique following Sky, who is a character we meet. She kind of is the alpha in the Clique in the grade above the girls, and it's following her. It's 4 books. The series ran from August 2009 to May 2011. Lizzie Harrison also published a Monster High series. I don't really know much about the series, but it was 4 books and it ran from September 2010 to May 2012. It would appear as if now she took a bit of a break from writing and came back in October 2013 with the Pretender series, which was 2 books, and the first book was published in October 2013 and the next book was published in June 2014. So kind of consistently sticking up with this 2 books a year schedule type thing. Then was a longer break. I don't have the date written down, but I believe it's 2017. She wrote her first adult book, which was The Dirty Book Club. And then another bit of a break, and in 2021, she's finally back to publishing. In February, she published Girl Stuff, which from what I can kind of tell is her first middle grade book that's like actually a middle grade, because like the Clique and Alphas, well, Alpha's not so much as a middle grade, but the Clique technically is like they're in like middle school, but like they don't act like they're in middle school, they act like they're grown people. From what I can tell from the cover of Girl Stuff, it's very young kind of looking. The sequel will come out in October 2020, and that's called Crush Stuff. And then The Pact, which was published in 2021, also just appears to be more actual middle grade type stuff. So yes, that is Lizzie Harrison. Background about her: she's Canadian. She somehow was in New York writing for MTV, and then she was asked by a publishing house if she would be interested in writing, and she did. She wrote the Clique. I tried to figure out like how many copies of it were sold and how many languages it's translated into, but like that information just like doesn't exist online. As of like 2009, 6 million copies had been sold, but that was when the series was still publishing. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information I could find on the Clique. But so, personally, Okay, what is this series about? So in this series, we're following the Pretty Committee, which is made up of 4 people: Massey, Dylan, Alicia, and Kristen. And I would kind of argue that Massey, you're gonna hear me refer to her as both throughout this video, just because I don't know. And she's, I would say, the main character, but then Claire, whose dad is kind of friends with her dad, they move into Massey's guest house, and however, Claire is not rich. And so it's basically following Claire as she tries to join ranks with the Pretty Committee and like get in and be cool, but like they don't want her. And she's going to scheme some stuff and cause some trouble. So yeah, I may spoil some of the series, but I'm sorry, I don't think anyone actually should read this series. It's bad. Also, final side note, I dyed my hair. I dyed it pinkish. I really like it. I did this earlier today, so side note, yes, my hair does look different. It's no longer bleached. Well, no, it's just no longer the color of the bleach. So yeah, that's my hair. Okay, well, it's currently 11:54. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Try to stay awake till midnight. I need to figure out some caffeine because I am tired, but tired and thriving. Well, it's 12 now, so it is time to begin the reading. My plan is to just try to speed through this. So yeah, let's do it.
It's sunny out of most days. You'll never see the sky if you keep looking down. And if you take the wrong way, and maybe you should stay instead of turning around. So, but you keep on going. I know that you're in the open, hoping that you'll be okay. Don't stay looking out the window. And how late do you plan on going? Nowhere, afraid of all the things you don't know. There's so many reasons you should care. Don't stay looking out the window. And how late do you plan on going? Nowhere, afraid of all the things you don't know. There's so many reasons you should care.
1 o'clock and I finished the first book. So I mean, the Clique's like 220 pages or something like that. So yeah, it was stupid. I mean, the amount of gossip and stuff, it's kind of ridiculous for girls who are like 13 and in 7th grade. It's honestly hilarious because it's like, this isn't how people act. There you go. So now on to book 2, Best Friends Forever. See y'all when I'm done. I'm getting tired. I am not going to lie. I'm still not done with this. I have like 50 pages left of it. Maybe. I'm not quite sure how long this one is. But it's interesting. I mean, drama filled and stuff like this. I don't even know. This one's like about a Halloween party, and then there's a uniform contest thing, and it's just so dramatic, and the girls are just so mean to each other. Or the one thing that's enjoyable about it is like the clapbacks type thing, the witty comebacks type things. I mean, those are good, but like, besides it, I don't know. The girls are just really mean to each other. We're starting to work in some of the romance subplots with the boys and all of that fun stuff, which I remember from my first read of the series was just dramatic, and I'm not quite sure girls in 7th grade really were thinking about boys that much, but hey, you know, you do you. So I'm gonna keep reading. I think after this, I'm going to make some caffeinated beverages, so I will see you all then. Book 2, done. I'm doing like really good so far. We're hanging out currently at like a book an hour, which is pretty nice. So right now I'm gonna go put on some different pants because I'm a bit chilly, and then try to make some coffee and start my next book. So see y'all in a bit. Also, like, I'm not reading these books because I wouldn't know how to. So yeah, that's just, I'm like currently on Goodreads. They're all rated as 1 stars, but I don't think they're actually that. I mean, mean, they're not good, but they're not, like, bad, like, the worst thing I've ever read, so, I don't know, I'm just not rating them. So, yeah, I will see y'all later. 30 minutes and 50 pages later, so we got ourselves a nice mocha, folks, and it's not half bad. Would you believe that? So, yeah, I'm now on to book 3, which is Revenge of the Wannabes, and in this one, Alicia decides that she isn't happy being second in command anymore, or not being the alpha of the group, and she's going to start her own clique. Dun dun dun! But yeah, I'm like 50 pages in. This one's almost 300 pages! Why does this book need to be that long? It's the longest of the series, but time to get the reading on, I guess. And drink my coffee because it's yummy. The coffee's not working. I'm still exhausted. But it's like 3:40, but I finished book 3, Revenge of the Wannabes. I think I told you all what this one was about, but don't even know. I don't know. This one may be my least favorite. It was definitely longer, but like it was still pretty easy to read. One thing I do want to talk about is some of the problematic natures of this book series, I guess. The main particular one being the fat phobia in this series, kind of. There's one character particularly who's like constantly obsessed with like trying to lose weight, and like she's constantly on diets. And I remember like when we're introduced to her, like the main character, like the girl who's like giving us like her description of what she looks like, says something about her weight and stuff like that. And she's talking about like all these different diets she's going on, and her friends are making comments. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's not surprising given that these books were written in the early 2000s, but still, it's not great. But yeah, so I just wanted to flag that unfortunately is in this series, which is I think something that makes it not great. But so this one done, officially 3 down, so we're making progress. I don't know if I'm still doing well with my goal of trying to read 165 pages an hour. I might be failing at that, but who knows. Next up, Revenge of the Wannabes. This is a shorter one, I think, and also not the Revenge of the Wannabes, Impatience of the Boy Snatchers. Basically, in this book, Alicia's cousin is coming to visit, and she is stealing the attention of all the boys, which is a very big deal because all the girls are boy obsessed, apparently. I don't know. This one is 230 pages long. Why are these books long? They were supposed to be short. I think my math may have actually been wrong. I'm kind of tempted to redo it. Okay, well, reading time. I'll talk to y'all later. The birds are chirping, but I finished the book. So, yes, very, very excited for this. I'm making good progress. 4 books down. Yay! I'm not gonna lie, like 10 minutes ago, I thought I was gonna go to sleep, but you know, I powered through and I'm doing better. I think a nap is coming on soon, but not quite yet. This one was fine. I guess this is one of my least favorites, I think, although I know the next one is my least favorite, so yeah. There's just some bit of slut shaming in this one, and I don't know, it's like the character that it's like directed at, like I don't like her. She's not a good person, but like slut shaming, really? Do we really need to be doing that? But yes, next up is, I forget even what it's actually called. The Pretty Committee Strikes Back, and they're going on a camping trip with the boys. So I guess context about the series: the girls go to OCD something, which is a school. It's I think in an interview, Lissy Harrison said she did name it after the disorder, but I don't know why. Couldn't figure out why. But so it's an all-girls school, and there's also like their brother school at Briarwood. And of course, all the girls have crushes on the boys that go to Briarwoods. So in this one, it's a joint like camping thing, expedition between the 2 schools, and yeah, lots of drama. Not exciting. Okay, the school is Octavian Country Day, but they call it OCD. So yeah, making good progress. It's like about to be 5. I think the birds are chirping. So yeah, probably go sit outside when the sun comes up just to get a little bit of a change of scenery gonna start reading this one. I have no idea how long it is. 264 pages again. That's fine. I mean, I read that one fairly quickly. So yeah, that's it for me for right now. I probably will take a nap in a bit, but yeah, I'm gonna wait off to have some more coffee probably after my nap. So yeah, I will talk to you all. It's 5:45 now and I have changed my locations. I'm now up in my room. I'm about halfway through 5th book. It's about 5:45. I think I'm gonna take a little nap. Probably like a 30-minute one. I think that would be good. So yeah, I may read a bit more of this before I take a nap, but you know, we're going strong. We're almost a quarter of the way through the readathon. And I'd say I'm a quarter of the way done. I've done a lot of reading this morning. So yeah, the first few hours of this readathon were very successful. If I take a nap, I'll probably do like a 2 breakfast thing, like have like a coffee as my first breakfast and then a bit later have like actual food, you know? So yeah, the sun is starting to come up, but I don't feel like going outside and reading in the sunrise because I am tired. But I'll still probably read outside a lot today, so I'll check in with you all later. I feel like I say that every time. Just over 2 hours later, 1 nap later, and like 1.5 books later, it's now 8. So first off, I finished The Pretty Committee Strikes Back. And I talk about this one being my least favorite. Not necessarily because it's the worst quality of them all, but just because a lot of it's like cringy. Like, I don't know, just some of the behaviors, some of the girls in the books, I'm just like, really? And then in its entirety, I read Dial L for Loser, which is the 6th book. I'm not really quite sure which one it is. The 6th one, there we go. And in this book, some of the girls get invited to go try out to be a star in a movie, and it's the drama on set and all of that stuff, which is fun and stuff, so I liked it fine. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible. And next up is It's Not Easy Being Mean, which is another shorter one. This one's not even 200 pages. Yeah, which will be quick. So now I'm actually gonna go get breakfast and some more coffee because I'm a bit tired, but I think my nap helped revive me. So I'll see you all later. I've moved outside while it's still nice out here. I think it's supposed to get warm, but the bugs are being loud, so hopefully I'll last. But I finished It's Not Easy Being Mean. So in this one, we're following the girls as they're sent on like not a scavenger hunt thing, but on a hunt type thing, because the like alpha of like the popular group in the grade above them has basically said there's a key to a secret room in the school where like all the popular people hang out, and like whoever finds the key will be popular next year, and so they're trying to find it. Oh, it was fine. It was really short. I don't want to say enjoyable. I mean, it just felt like some of the character development that we maybe have gotten had like backtracked. I feel like that's something that does happen throughout the series. The characters just don't learn and change. So, I don't know. On to It's Not Easy Being Mean, which is the 8th book in the series. Yes, what is it? And apparently it was also supposed to be the last. I was reading an interview like in the back of the last book, and she said it was supposed to be 8 books originally, so it's just an interesting thing. Time to start reading. 15 minutes later, I'm back inside because the bugs decided to attack me even though I'm wearing all long clothes. Now I'm gonna go get some coffee and caffeine. It's been a while. It's currently 1:30, and so I'm making my lunch. Reading updates. I finished Sealed with the Diss. It was fine. This book mainly just focuses around the girls trying to get dates to a party. Basically just causes a lot of drama and sets it up for the next part of the series. And currently I'm in the middle of reading the summer collection, which is 5 novellas about the girls over the summer, because Sealed with the Diss ends like at summer, and then like next one picks up at the beginning of the next school year. So it's just 5 novellas about summer. I'm on the 4th novella, Christians. I'm not really going to talk about what these novellas are all about. They're just following the girls' different summer adventures. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this. They're about 100 pages each or so, so I have Christians and Claire's yet left. And then back on to the core series. Onward. I'm feeling optimistic. I think I can do this. Lunchtime and reading time. I'm flailing. I don't know. I'm struggling. Hi, it's like 4:30, I think. So I finished the summer collection. It was fun. I didn't particularly love it. I feel like they're really less quality than the actual books, which is like kind of saying a lot because the books aren't great. And then I've read Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is the 9th book in the series. And in this one, we're following the girls, the clique, as it's the start of the new school year. But the boys from Briarwood are at their school because of a leak thing that destroyed their school. But of course, they don't get along anymore because like drama, and they're on a boy pass and it's dramatic. And I'm just like, do you really think about boys that much in middle school? Because I don't think so. So, yeah, it's like these girls are like 13, I think. Although in one of the last ones, they said something about being 12. And I'm like, I think if you're in 8th grade, you're older than 12. I was 14 when I was in 8th grade. So, yeah. But I'm going to move on to the next one, which is P.S. I Love You. I'm just hoping I can get this done. I'm making progress, but it really doesn't feel like I'm gonna finish in time. So I finished P.S. I Loathe You, which is the 10th book in the series. It was fine. It was short. This book focuses a decent amount on Kristen, who I like. She's a nice character. Not one of the worst of the groups. Kristen and Claire are probably my favorites. Finished this one. Pretty short. Didn't take me very long to read. Now I'm on to Boys R Us, which is the 11th book, and the longest I have left after this. It's pretty smooth sailing. I have, I think, 3 books left in the series after this one, and then the prequel, which I'll hopefully be able to get to. It's like just after 6. We have dinner, hopefully, sometime soon. I'm trying not to do any more caffeine, just because I feel like I'm going to be exhausted if I do, but that is my update. I will talk to you all when I have more. I'm starting to fear this, not because of how tired I am, because I'm really not tired, but I think that just has to do with how much caffeine I've had today, but with the fact that I'm running out of time. It's currently like 8:15, and I'm halfway through the 12th book in the series. After this one, I still have 3 more to go. Yikes. But you know, confidence. I can do this. The series is like just going downhill from that. I finished Boys R Us, and that was honestly one of the stupidest books I have ever read. They're just like that. I mean, like, they're immature, but also like they're mature because like they're immature because like they're just freaking out over stupid things. But it's also like, well, normal 8th grade girls don't really care that much about boys, you know. We're not that obsessed with them, so. I don't know. I'm struggling, but we're gonna keep going. It's infuriating. And this one is like, oh my god, now that we're in 8th grade, we have to crush on like high school boys. And I'm just like, can you not? Can you just not be annoying for once? Thank you. But yeah, that's how it's going. I'll update you guys later. I'm now having ice cream to revive me, as I only have 3 books left to go. We're getting so close. It's also just like 9, so I still have like 3 hours. 3 hours, 3 books. We got this. I have 2 books left and 2 hours left. We're going down to the wire books. I resorted to eye drops because my eyes were so dry from reading. So next up is Charmed and Dangerous, which is the sequel. Not the sequel. So I finished My Little Phony, which is the 13th book in the series. At this point, it's just getting repetitive. I'm like, did these girls ever learn? This is ridiculous. But Messi lost all her money, so that's interesting. So I just have this, which is 175 pages, and this, which is 200 pages left. So I'm gonna read the prequel now, and then I'll end it off with the final book in the series. So I'll see you guys when I'm done with the prequel. Any credibility this series has, I've lost. In this book, the girls are 9. And they're attending like parties and stuff like that. It's just not realistic. No 9-year-old is obsessed with what brand her shoes are, or if her mani petty is still gonna be there when school is back in session, or attending these parties thrown by like Hollywood elite. It's just not it. This has lost me, folks. This book is Charmed and Dangerous. Not very realistic. Not very realistic. It is 10:55, and I just finished Charmed and Dangerous. I hated it. It was probably the worst one so far. It was just really unrealistic. And now we're moving on to the final book in the series, Tale of Two Pretties. I have like an hour to read this. It's 200 pages, almost exactly. It's 203 pages. I have an hour to read this. Let's do this.
The sun is setting down soon. You'll never see the stars when you're all in your head. You can find beauty in the night too, but it's harder to see when you're stuck in a dream. So, but you keep on going. I know that you're in the open, hoping that you'll be okay. Don't stay looking out the window. And how late do you plan on going? Nowhere. Afraid of all the things you don't know. There's so many reasons you should care. Don't stay looking out the window. And how late do you plan on going? Nowhere. Afraid of all the things you don't know. There's so many reasons you should care.
It is 11:45 p.m. and I finished A Tale of Two Pretties, officially completing my mission. A better wrap-up will be filmed tomorrow. So, why did I do this in the first place? It's about a week later, and I have since finished everything. I have recovered from the readathon, and now I want to reflect back on my experience and what I got out of it. So, my main goal in doing this reading the thing, I don't know what to call it, is I had two goals. I wanted to A, figure out why I liked this series so much in the first place, and B, see if I could really realize that it was not the best quality, and I did do both. I can confirm that. So why did I like this series? I mean, it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed reading it. It was fun, ridiculous, and just a good escape mechanism to read about people who were living these crazy different lives from what I was living. I read this series a few months after I made a giant move. I read this in 4th grade, and I had just moved from Georgia to Philadelphia, left all my old friends behind, and had to make completely new friends. And I mean, I struggled for a few years with the move, and this series was just so ridiculous, and it just got my mind off things. I truly think that's why I liked it. And B, yes, the series. It's not great, and let's talk about some of its flaws. It's ridiculous. You don't live like this. So the main thing I have is the characters are just so materialistic. For me in like 7th grade, please. When you're 13 or 12, as a lot of them were, you're not concerned about if you're wearing the right designer handbag and stuff like that. And apparently Lucy Harrison wrote this series to like be a critique on materialism and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't see that. There is fat phobia in this series. I think I mentioned that earlier. One of the characters in this book is just constantly saying stuff like, oh my god, I'm so fat, I've gained so much weight, I'm dieting. And like the other characters will be like, no, you're skinny, and think like stuff like, oh yeah, she's like super skinny. But like they never told her like, it doesn't matter what you weigh, you don't need to be concerned about that. It was just like focusing on this skinny stuff. And then also like plot points are reused throughout this series. That's probably the one thing that got on my nerve the most. I mean, fat phobia is not great, but like throughout the later books, like just the same things were happening, the same conflicts that came up in the earlier books. And I think that leads me to another thing. These girls just didn't grow. 14 books into the series, and they were still making the same mistakes they made in the first book. So yeah, that's my little review of the Clique series. Yes, it's enjoyable. No, it's not good quality. So yeah, I chose not to read these books just because I don't know what to write them. There's part of me that enjoyed them, and there's part of me that realizes these are not good. So I did it, and I am proud of myself. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave links to like where you can find like a list of all the books in the series and then get to like Goodreads pages for each of them. I will also, and in August I do believe I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon of the Alpha series, so stay tuned for that. It's only 4 books. It won't be as long as this one. And Alpha is the spin-off following Sky Hamilton. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's kind of crazy that I did this. Down below you'll find links to, like I said, the things where you can find the full series, as well as my Bookstagram and my Goodreads if you want to follow me there. Subscribe to see more content from me. And I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye!